Welcome to this week's vlog. The sunny skies behind me belie what has been a very wet week across many parts of the country. But I just want to think about those down in Cornwall that faced the most severe storms at the end of last week. Structural damage in places, a lot of trees down, the inability to cool or to collect milk. And I know that in some places there are some real challenges. On Monday I was up at the Semex Conference in Glasgow, where there was a real overview of the dairy market and I gave the opening speech to conference. Considering how challenging the dairy sector is at the moment, the level of optimism in the room was really quite surprising, but also invigorating. The recognition that the UK has produced 5.2% more milk last year is the real reason that the markets have done what they've done. Now, clearly, it's a crucial time over the next 6 months, the direction of where the milk market goes, and it was really interesting to hear the detailed market overviews. On Tuesday, I gave evidence to the Business and Trade Committee, all about the EU reset and the SPS agreement. We recognise that 34% of our trade volume has been lost to the EU in agri-food products since 2019. But it would also be naive to believe that just because we reduce friction with dynamic alignment, we're suddenly going to get that trade back. There are opportunities, but we've also diverged in certain areas around plant protection products and also gene editing. We need to make sure that there are carve-outs where appropriate for gene editing, and there are transition arrangements where we need them to make sure that we don't have to forego those technological advances that we've made. We also have to make sure that the UK is going to be absolutely committed to influencing the decisions that are made within those EU committees. It was a fantastic opportunity to make sure that your views were represented as those trade conversations continue. Last night I was also at the Pershore Farming Conference. It was great to see so many people there in the audience, a great lineup of speakers with George Eustace and Mike Rivington, all about climate change, water availability, and how we're going to adapt to make sure that we have a thriving system for the future. I'm now going to hand over to David, who's going to talk about LAMMA.
So the NFU is here at LAMMA today, and I was also on a panel at the Low Carbon Show about how to make regenerative farming profitable. It was a really great discussion. Some of the takeaways from it are the focus on soil. We all need to focus on our soils, and however you want to describe it, regenerating our soils is absolutely key. Another one is that knowledge exchange is really important, and that farmers learn best from other farmers. So sharing information, working with other farmers is the best way for us to learn how we can change our farming practices. The other thing is that there's no one size fits all. It's whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong. It was a great discussion. It was a very positive discussion. And at the start of 2026, I can't think of a better way to kick off the farming year.
Finally, you will have seen that it's hustings next week. We would welcome as many members as possible to get involved, to come to the hustings, to join the one online, to hear your future office holders and have your say on what you want for the union. Thank you very much.